Maokai in this series. Obviously wasn't present in the last game. Actually can't remember if it was banned or not, but maybe you can answer with something like a Maokai and a Rise inside of OMG. Or you can take away something like the Wukong as well. Lots of options for you.
Yeah, Wukong's actually been a priority between these two junglers so far, so might see that there as Shanji flashes away his OTP.
It's really good into Varus. Actually, in game 1, I would have preferred that Rumble to the Sion, which they locked in.
Well,
the Hover, again, it's really good into Varus. I mean, this was a big thing around 2020, start of that year. That was when we saw like Victor and Varus kind of coming back out into the fore for the first time in a little while. Varus kind of fell off the radar after Season 7 and got horribly nerfed after that kind of Ardent Sensor meta. But then Rumble came out to answer these immobile carries, even though Rumble was a little difficult to play in top lane at that point. You saw him from jungle, you saw him support. It's just having that ultimate available very, very useful. But we're going to have the Freljord duo, two rival clans in Ashe and Sejuani playing up, assuming that you're going to see that into the support role from the Ashe, which leaves probably able to just pick something which is just stable and pushes lane. Could also put the AD carry Ashe into the support role. Varus heimerdinger though, oppressive in its own right. You kind of need to pick something that stands up well in lane now.
Biggest question will be though is what OMG round out the rest of the draft with, because I think it's that kind of game where things like again the Rumble could definitely be on the table as you're talking about. Would have preferred it as a support, Rumble support, folks. Hidden tech, honestly, just so amazing in lane.
You know, so this is going to be a real side. We'll see what comes through in these last couple of weeks. But one of my favorite team compositions of all time was, so I saw this in the LPL first. I think it was Sangok in 2020 that played this, and it had a Rumble support in it. Because you had a Rumble, you had a Braum or something, I can't remember. And then you also had a Kiana. So it was Kiana Jones and the Carpets of Doom, where you just had like the Braum ult, the Rumble ult, and then like the Kiana ult going around everything. It was the red carpet welcome. I love that.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, sounds like a deadly combination. I just quickly mentioned the bans coming through. I still targeted the Cube again. He's one of the few Gwen players in the league still pulling it out, especially against Ksante here that's been picked up early. Yes. And it's a difference, right? Because OMG have decided not to opt in for their AD carry. Not going to get banned away, though, as Triple AD started us off. Now we're just banning away Creme's champs, it seems.
Yeah, I wonder if you just ban away the Sylas, force him back on something like that Yone, which he struggled on before. Diving into a heimerdinger kind of sucks. You don't have to worry about a spell shield this time around if you do pick up something which is heavy dive initiating. We also have something like the Akali as well, which is one of Creme's specialties too. Was banned away from him earlier in this series. So Sylas, Akali, both valuable bans here. Maybe the Raratin could expand their last ban on that one. I think that, you know, actually, probably Raratin could look towards something like that Ahri again in that mid lane. And instead, actually banning away the Kai'Sa has been seeing a bit of a rise to prominence. But because you're banning that away, you let him through the Sylas again. I feel like that's a pretty easy lock-in. Makes it harder to pick something like that Ahri, which we saw struggle a little bit more against the Sylas in this game too. But of course, this has been unbanned. Akali, one of the historical kind of picks into the Sylas, and would work pretty well with that Wukong kind of diving in. And it's going to be that lock-in. I was fairly confident that was going to be strongly considered after that hover. Oh,
oh yeah.
Flip the switch. It's Sion time again, baby.
Against Ksante, what a fun lane that's going to be. Well, ignoring that though, there's not many AD carries left available. Ezreal is something that we have seen in like the tier 3, tier 2.5, you'd say. And with Ashe too, great range in this bottom lane to try and match.
It is, but one of the issues with something like Ezreal into the heimerdinger is that you don't have early wave clear, so you are getting pushed in at this point. You have lacking ability to escape something like an Akali as well, because you only have one E. That's not really enough when Akali kind of just slams the ult button on you and you kind of go screaming off into the grey screen. It definitely has some ability to poke people out around objectives. You can eventually start clearing heimerdinger turrets pretty well. Ezreal rather has a number of different builds you can go towards. You can see Essence Reaver into Muramana into something like...
It's in the top lane. You have one big meat shield
versus Ksante.
and another French door fridge. Look at that.
I have to say, I am super jealous of the fans that are out there and get to kind of like just do all of this cool stuff and have all of these cool signs. It feels like, we talked about this on one of our previous guests, but it feels like a convention. Just you kind of rock up to the LPL and like everyone's there, you've got like cosplayers, you've got all these people who've made all of these cool signs and they're holding all of these great memes. Really does kind of add to the atmosphere of the event, and I'm sure it adds an extra little bit of something to the players.
I was saying to, I can't remember who I was saying it to, but the signs and everything then get off Jingdong or Taobao, like, you know, obviously the equivalent of kind of our eBay, and they're actually pretty cheap and pretty easy to put together. So the availability over in China is always impressive. As junglers start on the same side of the map this time around.
That's right. Yeah, so this is one of the problems trading level 1 like this. One of these lanes has bone plating, the other doesn't, so even though Creme hits a fair amount, actually loses out on the trade, needs some passes back anyway. Akali has typically won this matchup unless your name is someone like Chovy or Zeka really winning that side of it in more recent years. But speaking on laning phase, this bot lane, despite losing control of the wave at level 1, Ashe and Southwind doing fine on the HP trade. Haven't burned any pots themselves yet. Abel actually started with a refillable potion, but hasn't gone for the teleport. Sometimes you will see teleport on the Ezreal just to kind of give you that early first back to something like a tier, if you're going for a refill pot anyway. Of course, gives you the ability to stock up on that as well, but not to be. Takes the cleanse instead. Very important for something like the Varus ult or the heimerdinger flying through, and you can very much understand that.
Yeah.
In post level 6, that gets very scary.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a rarity because, yeah, TP is just so often taken as Shanji's also gone TP, but Ghost up in that top lane is Ksante too, so you still have double TP, in fact, on both sides. And it's worth referencing is, I'm just glad we're getting action in the bottom lane. Forget what I'm talking about elsewhere. There's damage being done in the bottom lane, and it's a little bit more edgy. We don't have to sit here and just go, oh, Lulu's pressing E, how fun.
I'd say you're the rare sort that enjoys the heimerdinger in the bot lane. I think a lot
how
of people
could
are
you
more tired
not
of that now.
enjoy the donger in the bot lane?
See, the thing is, I spent many years following a guy called Seros, who is probably one of the world's. It was basically him and Shannon that used to play an awful lot of heimerdinger.
Yeah.
Those are basically the two. So I'm kind of like, for me, the novelty has sort of worn off. Seeing it in the support as well for such a long time, I'm like, look, it's kind of kooky, but it also reminds me of when like we started seeing Tryndamere mid coming out. Like, look, I enjoyed it for the first 5 games. Maybe lay off it now, folks. It's getting a bit old. It's definitely very obnoxious.
Strive is always in trouble. Permafrost is available there as Strive still walks up. Leyan coming for the counter gank, but this is 1v2 that he can't win for the time being. Going back in, Leyan has to flash. I mean, I don't know what his goal was there. Strive already had to back away.
I think his goal was, I have a red buff, they don't. Maybe we can win this out with some Conqueror stacking. But it's melee synergy with the Sejuani. Aki gets 2 sets of the permafrost off, which is a lot of base damage. It's one of the reasons why Sejuani has managed to have such longevity from the jungle. You can do damage while still being a tank and fulfill your role as a teamfight initiator too, but that's going to be double flashes blown from Rare Atom's mid-jungle. Aki does blow his own though, so it's not like it's going to be a complete similar clean trade. And now Creme coming back out onto the map, back into lane, has started doing pretty well on this side of the matchup.
Well, Aki might be able to find another lane as well. Decimating smash, that timing's just rough. Cube, his flash might have to go on cooldown now as well. Is he going to even burn a permafrost there? Knock back. Why? Why, man? I guess, okay, never mind. That's why. I hate Sion too.
That's crazy. That's actually pretty absurd, because there are 2 things that happen there. Sion has some of the very highest base HP regen in the game. The W cooldown came up, and he had a pot taking. Quick calculation comes through, and Cube actually gets away with it. But, you know, both of us are going to shout out, like, oh no, why did you burn that flash? But, I mean, the calculation's right. Credit to him.
Wow, okay. Yeah, straight away from crazy sad to crazy good, and you know, has been TP to get back into lane but still survives. Ghost was burned as a response up in top lane too, and remember that that's a flashless lane anyway. So opportunity maybe for Leyan to get something back here onto Shanji while Leyan starts up the dragon in the meanwhile. This is going to be spotted out as Aki is on his way down.
Yeah, well, Aki's done a good job of influencing mid and top lane. Neither of those are bot lane, which is where you tend to stage your dragon attempts off of. Southwind is going to start poking out, start setting turrets down, trying to deny OMG's bot lane entrance in here. Southwind might have to blow the flash, but he doesn't have flash either. This could get a bit strange.
Sssum with a good dodge away. The heimerdinger ult just goes wide. Creme now in a bit of trouble, but Permafrost in the fight you're talking about is so great. This is just like game number 2, only funkier, as Strive gets a kill there too. And I feel like Creme just put himself in a lot of danger.
He put himself in a lot of danger and then completely whiffed the ultimate, steals the heimerdinger ult. That's not a bad thing. Chooses to use that the upgraded grenade.
Imagine having Strives on.
If that had been an upgraded turret, just dump it down. You're all fighting around that area of the river anyway. That could have been huge for zone denial. I think Creme, decision making and execution, a little bit awry, and then suddenly Dragon, 2 kills over to Atom, traded for just the one on the other side. Have to see, of course, how this works out. Reminder that Aki doesn't have flash. As soon as you use this Q, Aki really struggles to get back into the play. And despite the hawk shot being used to kind of give some extra ability to kind of see around the edge of this fight, you see again, like, Creme just messes up that heimerdinger ult. Again, I don't think it's a bad ult to steal. I just think it was badly used.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, again, it would have made all the difference because now OMG is out. That gold lead went over to RA, and the kill also went to Strive, who's now level 6, or was in the fight, but of course, worth mentioning that he did hit that point, and that was able to get Merc
It's a melee versus melee mid. You've just given gold over to. Like, that's going to switch. It always does. We know this matchup. We've seen it since Season 8, since the reworks and the release came out of these champions. That gold is significant. It's right to bring that up.
Another kill goes over to Sssum as well, which is going to be close to that Immortal Shield Bow. So, great start as well. That's a far way to go. Hang on a minute, Creme. Is he going to break? Because that ulti's coming up. Strive will have ulti if he wants to pull the trigger, has the passive available. One more bit of auto. The damage could be there. Aki's nearby to help out, but still, Strive has got his own support coming through. Rather, sorry, that's PP God from OMG who helps out. Never mind, he's facing down the barrel of a 1v3.
Leyan just hit level 6, Cyclone available. Definitely means the 2v2 in this mid lane gets a bit more funky, saw early on. Melee synergy with Sejuani, just so hard to fight against, but now with 2 assists, level 6 to his name. Leyan heading towards the Herald with the ultimate refresh from Strive, as he said, came back up when that in the middle of that mid lane tussle. We're at him feeling bold enough to head towards this Herald. Creme using the E cooldown, trying to speed up his rotation towards his Herald. Not willing to let this go for free.
Does have hijack available. This is how he uses the all-in there. Still away the right ulti. This time is Creme as he gets the first kill onto Leyan. Aki going to die in the meantime, though. His Strive is pacing his way out. Actually going to get out as well. Props the Strive, trying to dodge from the true shot barrage, but he still lives on. As that was just nicely played for a comeback in what was a pretty dangerous fight. Yeah,
because Aki wins the mind game. I'm pretty sure the clone was up from Leyan. If you manage to tank the Sejuani ultimate with the Wukong clone, that fight looks very, very different. So Aki puts himself in the right position, wins the mind game against the Wukong, gets him the first kill. Creme understanding how quickly he could rotate there as well. Knowledge of how quickly he'd arrive at the objective means that you do actually manage to stage a pretty okay fight at that point. Next time you're going to take that fight, though, I have to see whether Southwind is in the area. This time I think it's so obnoxious at this point in the game. I'm going to put down those turrets. Maybe that changes the equation a little bit. Go back to the recovery again. Basically what we said, don't manage to tank up that Sejuani onto the Wukong clone. Too much damage just through multiple permafrost passives, stack them onto the jungler, he goes down, but Strive at least manages to wrestle one back.
And he's got 2 kills, and the fact that the first player who's able to wrestle up one is now got himself another Hextech Alternator in the inventory. I'd be very scared if I was OMG, because that Herald didn't get taken down. There's still a fight to be had, and Strive's ult is really on that, not that on that long of a cooldown. He has an insane amount of burst damage for where the game's at right now.
Okay, but there is no AD carry here, and I mean, though it is it's not the longest cooldown in the world. I mean, like, actually, Akali ult rank one. Stop. Sure.
It's not bad.
It's definitely not going to be on cooldown for this fight. Very true. Oh, that's very true. But yeah, Rare Adam not in a position to play this, particularly because Aston wasn't there as well. AD carry didn't have come through in that one. Instead, what that means is we're going to have cooldowns for potential Dragon spawn. Herald does go up to OMG, but are they going to be in a position to stop Rare Adam getting towards a 2-Dragon stack? It's been impactful in all of our games today, really. It feels like 2 Dragon stacks early really force teams into really forcing positions, especially if they've not been good at snap forcing fights, which most of our teams today have struggled with a little bit. So watch out for this dragon. Turrets being set up. Southwind is here at the objective. That wasn't there at the last Herald, so that will be a big difference there. Let's see how much value Southwind can get out of this Noxious champion.
I mean, the push in bot kind of secures that Abel can't join in. OMG are going to try something mid here with the Herald in the meantime, but as you said, 2 dragons back here for RA, going to give them an advantage in this game number 3. Well, OMG are able to get the single plate towards mid, and Strive is just going to try and find the Herald's eye, clean up the wave, and continue holding a CS lead in this mid lane. So again, props to RA. I think this time around, Nymaera, like, we have better decision making coming through in the early game, and we have RA with a lot better direction with how they want to run their comp.
Yeah, and I feel like the saving grace for RA in a game like this as well, compared to the last game, is that RA don't have that obligation to force early and kind of snowball ahead of the game. They're doing well early anyway, but they don't have to force things. They don't have to be desperate about it, which it kind of felt happen again when they were very, very slow up until they just kind of threw everything they could, and it just the shot didn't really connect. Now there are 2 dragons up on a Mountain Rift, Mountain Soul. When you have a Sion, it's disgusting. Good luck getting through those extra resists. So OMG cannot really let those dragons go over. Of course, if they start picking up mountain dragons themselves, very good for them. But they're going to have to fight for those dragons. So they're going to have to turn up. They're going to have to go into the Varus, go into the heimerdinger, and see if they can get past that front line of that Sion at the same time. So watch out for the next dragon spawn. Does feel like that will be, once again, tail of the game. Oh,
Chain Corruption and heimerdinger. Oh man, you gotta love this combination. Just as potent as ever.
That it is, and once again, we see the power of Varus putting down the hail of arrows. The extra grievous wounds means that the heal summon spell doesn't have nearly as much value. TP God, very low level, very squishy, not able to escape that one, and suddenly killing that box side plate in the mid. Rorat picking up some freebies. It's not like the hugest thing ever, but it's just enough to keep OMG and hold them accountable.
Again, it's these small windows that keep being found out by RA that's building them, not the biggest gold lead, but building them comfortability in this game. And 3 minutes till the next dragon, as you said, you know, OMG are going to have to start looking at fighting these, where Akali's going to have 1 item, and Strive is still just doing so well in this game. Like 120 CS almost as he continues to fight out with Creme, stolen ulti with a hijack as Leyan and Southwind move towards mid, and Nymaera. As we kind of chill around this area, I've just realized tonight is bin night, and I haven't put my bins out, and it's midnight. I think it comes in the morning, but it's kind of, it's detrimental to my well-being.
Thank you for telling me that. I care very much for your well-being. Not enough to fly out there and help you with your bins. Not sure I'd be arriving in time with that.
That's sadly a lot.
It would, I'm not quite, you know, committed enough to this bit to help you with your trash.
Trash, yeah. You call it rubbish, don't lie. You call it trash, it's so American.
Okay, I do. You can't expose me like this and all my Britishisms.
True.
And maybe try and expose Abel in his mid lane. Actually, that's something which we need to kind of pay attention to, because if that happens with the Rylai's, which is being built up by Southwind, Ezreal, if they ever get tagged by a Rylai's, good luck escaping from that. It's one of the problems with an Ezreal in the current meta. Ezreal is awesome when you can get rid of all of your necessary kind of threat in one kind of E. It doesn't really work after that point. Creme going in the mid lane, bot lane rather. I'm pretty sure it's going to lead to that one,
Ooh, cleanse though in the mid lane in the meanwhile, so that's something here out of the ulti of Arki. That's someone not going to be available for the next dragon fight.
No, it's not. Especially when you've got a minute and a half, you're going to have that ultimate available from Arki for that dragon. Cleanse won't be. That differential will have to be noted. Creme won't have the Akali ultimate for that play either, though, and that's by far the best ultimate you can steal in this game. Maybe looking at a Varus ult for grouped up fights, has a good AP scaling. I'm going to start stacking up with that Rod of Ages as well, so we'll have enough stats to make some decent use of it. It really does come round to this next kind of dragon fight as well. You do have second Herald spawning, that's like a consolation prize, but if you give over a soul point, I don't know, OMG, that's a really dangerous position to be putting yourselves in, so can't afford to be letting vision control slip. They've done a decent job of getting some wards down in this bot side, but that's the start. Got to hammer home the play.
I think Chains of Corruption is something worth mentioning. It can be stolen away. Actually, even though you talk about Akali ult being the best to steal, and I can agree with you on that. I think the best feeling to steal of an ultimate is the Sion ulti. Sion ulti for Creme when you already have so many engage tools. Like, imagine you're in Knock-Up City. You know, Guns N' Roses sang about Paradise City. They weren't talking about something religious. They're talking about Sion Knock-Up. As Leyan, oh, this angle's beautiful. Everything launched in the kitchen thing as well as Abel. Going to be saved by PP-God. What a legend. Otherwise, Abel was just dead.
Yeah, OMG don't have to cry just yet. Have to show a little bit of patience as not quite able to play out that one. Alright, are going to get themselves onto the Dragons though, so yeah, patience does work out for them. Aki looking for a steal, doesn't have the flash, trying to get in.
Is he gonna, close though, but an attempt made, he will die for it in the meanwhile, and guess what, the kill went over to Strive again.
Oh gosh.
Hot damn.
Aki's knocking on Heaven's Door for the 3rd time this game.
Nice.
Great screen activated. I can drop it a lot of the last mid. You watch that back. You see how many rounds for 1 minute.
Oh, hang on though. We're going to talk though. It's 1v2. Can he win this? Maybe he can. He's still has the second part. He does. And now on to Strive. He's healed up, flushes away. This 1v2 is huge, but Shuriken flip lands. Take it, Strive. Yeah, baby. Get revenge.
Waits out just long enough for that E to cancel. The only way that could have been outplayed was by cancelling the Shuriken flip with the Iskander dunk. So Strive, knowing the matchup, playing that out well, it's another kill over to this mid laner. Strive in their victorious game was deathless, snowballed so well. He's again deathless. Again, has himself a Dark Seal to start stacking up as well. This Akali is going to get very scary very quickly with this amount of gold.
You have yourself a 4-0 Akali. That's just nuts. We'll look at the replay again because Creme did play this. I feel like as well as he could.
And you do have the Akali ult back here. This is... It is just really scary to know how much base damage comes out of something like an Akali ult, right? Because you have the level 2 at this point of the ult at level 11, and yeah, the execute them just crazy. Something like the Rod of Ages gives you the HP to play around it. Luckily Strive at least able to cancel out something. Second ult, actually, in picture, take it in, got a fight starting.
Spinning again, this time around I'm a happy man. We get more blood and Strive got 5, 6. Count it with me, ladies and gentlemen, you all went to kindergarten. 6 kills and another one for RA.
Oh, it is coming in like a flood. Strive is just monstrous at this point. This Akali, 6-0 and 2, 9 stats in the Dark Seal, building towards the Shadow Flame. This is ridiculous. Rear Adam, get the Sin to get him too. This is really looking like a clean snowball through the objectives which they've had again. Soul Point, second Herald, mid tower down. This is coming apart in teams for OMG.
God, it's just such night and day performance. It's strange that Game 2 even existed. I don't know what dictates RA having games like this, Nymaera. Like, what is the difference? Because Game 2, they're chilling. They're like, not in a good way.
Yeah, no, this is not the first time we have seen Rare Apton kind of stop Game 1, really have an out of character Game 2, and then Game 3 they come back in force. But at the end of the day, if they're winning the series, they're winning the series. That's probably the most important thing for them. Of course, game score knocked the teams out of playoffs before, but Rare Adam hoping to put themselves into a safer berth than just that. Looking to go 4-2, of course, from this victory from their first 6 played. They'd actually be up there with some pretty big names. They'd be, ahead of teams like NIP, which even though they went through large amounts of changes from V5 to the new brand, a lot of big names on there, which they would be ahead of. RNG, of course, struggling too.
Oh, yeah.
Rare Adam,
well, they're already ahead of RNG.
They were already ahead of them too. But still, it's just like, again, just good to check in for people who might not be following as many of these games, so many of them, of course. But again, really looking to put the hurt down.
An attempt made. That was healed by PB-God as well to help out Creme. Obviously, the Akali is the better Akali with the resources in this game, but still Creme having an attempt is needlessly large rod in the inventory.
Akali is a better Akali? Is this in regards to like Sylas using your ult better than you?
Absolutely. It's like, when you had the Ahri game with Sylas and you're like,
true.
Sylas is better Ahri or Ahri's better Ahri, depending on.
It's like, remember when Lucian and Graves were effectively the same champion? It's like, oh yeah, this was just a better version of the other one in this matter.
Oh, true.
That was
when
like
Graves only hit one enemy.
Yeah.
Dude.
You
I just remember.
Like, the obligatory, I miss like the Mafia Graves skin, the auto attacks on that.
Dude, if we're talking about missing like champion reworks, Old Yorick was hilarious. That's
Old
definitely
Yorick was
one I
hilarious.
missed. But
Etherwing Kale's auto attack. I missed that so much. That was
no,
such a satisfying sound.
miss old Fiddlesticks. Dark Wind, the RNG bounce, you would win level 1 lane. It was so good.
It's like triple bouncing. It is just not fair. It's
Dude,
not counterplayable.
You can get to platinum very, very easily. Playing it in Chinese servers was hilarious.
OMG looking to challenge Alright, on this dragon. This is the soul. This is the setup. Leyan looking for a flank. Aki though, looking to cut
Leyan, dangerous pass he's taken now as he dodges the way two-shot barrage. I'm not sure how. Abel gets tagged with the shuriken flip. Strive's going in. Look at him. And he's into the whole team. Faded in. Abel did that on purpose. As Leyan gets Shanji as the first takedown. Going back on in is Strive. His positioning dangerous, but he's managed to get out with his life. Now forward they go as I cannot believe Strive survived all of that. OMG just too far behind it seems.
This mid laner is such a joy to watch. He understands when he's got to follow up with his team. That's been the special thing about Rare Atom. Their initiations, when they've been on a winning game, have been so coordinated. They've been at the same time, and they feel like such a different team from game to game when they start getting these leads. 7-0 on this Akali. Strive having a hell of a split so far.
7-0-2, as you said. That Magi's better be coming next. He deserves it. With the confidence he's playing, he should pick it up. The 6,000 gold lead really feels like it's off the back of him. And we'll look at the replay.
Yeah, because, you know, Magi is that once you hit 10 stacks, is gold efficient, very cheap item. There's someone in front of us to a lot of match penetration. But in this fight, you know, Strive is just waiting for the right angle. This is why we were talking about Ezreal being pretty bad into Akali. Your E does not get you to safety. And yes, Strive does get immediately pounced on, but Abel doesn't have E. He can't keep fighting like this, which is why he has to position so aggressively. And yeah, he does get a second play, but Abel just can't fight. He can't put out the damage. The damage differential is far too strong, and Strive doing an excellent job of holding the OMG 80 carry to account.
They now all move around Baron. Remember, that was Mountain Soul as well that got them that fight. I mean, this has just been Dragon stacking again, a 23-minute Soul, and now Strive onto Creme. Flashes away before that Shuriken Flip connects, and he's got the hijack to get the perfect execution, but again, Strive is doing it so much better as now sitting in brush, waiting around for someone to step on in. All it takes is one assassination and Baron's gone. The game's gone. And OMG in this series will be dropping down as RA looks at their 4th series win. Around Baron at 4K now. We're going for the contestants. Screams finding an angle. The steal in. Aki looking for it. No way. No way. He gets it. RA flipped it all around, but the fight should still be good as Shanji will be dying first. Aki's up next. Now Strive on top of PP God. Misses the 5-point strike, but it doesn't matter. 3 will be dying right here, but the Baron at least denied from OM, or rather, RA.
Yeah, it's denied, but I mean, what are they going to lose for this? I mean, Creme, can he even fight? He hasn't stolen a Akali ult, but that only tags onto an enemy champion. Have to go back into them. This could be 4 Baron stacks picked up for Rare Atom.
He should be out. He gets out with the final part of it, but yeah. Still, all those Baron stacks taken off, and RA is still getting so much in the top lane turret.
Yeah, so even with the lost Baron, yeah, it's okay. Good. Ezreal, oh, come on, man. You cannot play with our hearts like that, observers. Tracking that ultimate. I can shield now up again at least. Gonna get out of that one alive. It is a negative Baron power play, but this should have been really like the death play from Rare Atom. I've said that a couple of times today actually, where it feels like this play should end the game. Doesn't quite work out like that. Were it so easy. PP go. Fires the ult into the pit, it's kind of like it kind of stops Cube getting into a point where he can actually like lock people out. And Cube doesn't really get to impact this fight. It's the same kind of start. Leyan doesn't really get the most disruptive ult. I wonder whether Rare Atom should have played for the turn. Just look to just fly over the wall. It feels like they were a bit greedy. Just look for the flip and hope they overcommit into the pit. They get a little bit punished for it, but at the end of the day, it's still in a dominant position, still have Mountain Soul, and they're still actually somehow coming out slightly even, if not ahead from this play, getting out to take control of more parts of the map. And OMG, once again, that's like one play which helped them get slightly closer to getting back into the game, but is not nearly enough to see them into any kind of safe position.
Yeah, negative Baron power play worth mentioning, but only because for OMG, they're the ones who stole it and lost all their members. RA, as you're saying, I mean, this game just looking so clean as 14-3. That Mountain Soul will lead to an Elder in about 2 minutes' time as well. Siege on the bottom side while Top's getting pushed in, or rather mid. Top's actually building a big wave too, so all roads leading home for RA.
It's a really good slow push up there, which means that what you do is you do something called short shifting on the waves, where you kind of like, you push in one wave, go to the next wave, and go to the top of it as well. Particularly when you're pushing into inner turrets and then into the inhibitors, it makes it much easier to force the defending team into a difficult position. It takes such little time to rotate between waves. You need them stacked up in the right order, so you can really make the use of them. Of course, with Baron buff though, it makes it a lot harder to make anything out about that. We have some more item completions. We have another game of avid reading. Strive doing a so much. Vegi's picked up 10 stacks, which is, of course, it counts as a legendary item, gives you an extra 5 magic pen from your proto belt, and of course as sole AP in this game. No one else is doing magic damage. No one's really building that much magic resist outside of a bit on Shanji. Is that Akali's going to hit even harder? If that's exactly what OMG needed, you know. That's exactly what they wanted. Strive hitting them for even more damage.
No one can absorb it for the time being. Backline carries always threatened as that Elder's coming up in 1 minute time. RA already getting positional advantage, looking for a bit of a lure down to the bottom side here. Note that the Baron timer is out by about 1 minute 20. How's my math?
It's 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, good enough. As we're going to ARAM and fight for a little bit. OMG are grouped up here entirely. Leyan starts with the ulti off, and look, again, they're just not tanky enough at this point. Crystal Arrow buys a bit of time, but look, again, who's in? Leyan returns, and Strive is taking on the world, man. Strive to survive and staying alive. He doesn't get poked down, is unable to hit through the minions, or even the enemy champions. RA strong enough here, and a good attempt is, I'm not sure. Cube doesn't really like dying these days.
He still doesn't take damage.
Yeah, Chuck shows there, but
again,
look at Elder.
You can see like how little he does through the Mountain Soul. That's two Mountain Dragons on top of a full tank Sion. Jack Show gives you a lot of resist as well for the start completing items. It's going to be Elder. It's going to be uncontested. No smite available. Abel has an ultimate. That is what you are hoping
he's got
for,
it.
But you do have a smite. There's no way that steals right.
We're okay. Hey, Nymaera, replay coming. How does Creme is just not having a great game, nor is
yeah. Well, this is kind of like why diving into a Varus and a heimerdinger, it's just not fun, really. You get CC and you immediately die. Didn't have something like a stopwatch to pull at that point, or at least didn't have the ability to do so with Strike. Has that ability to. He also has like the extra luxury of having stuff like the Mountain Soul and the Mountain Dragons themselves, and a heal and steady carry to his support balance. Just keep this fight going long, and you can see how difficult it is to get past this Sion. This is one of the many reasons why Sion is back in meta. As soon as Sion gets onto the board, how do you get past it? You need that backline access. But you don't have something like a Leon. You don't have something like an Ornn to reach those backline characters, and Sion just doesn't care anymore.
You've got yourself a 2.5 item frontline bridge again, just unbeatable. And Sion has been shown throughout the course of today as well. Actually, maybe today's not the best representation, but
I've got to say, one of the 2 losses the champions had out of like 12 games played.
True. But hey, it was Shanji again. It was very relevant as that Elder was picked up as we came back. You know, out of the replay now, Baron's going to be there too, and RA will have the tools to just push this map in and try and end the game.
OMG staring down a 3rd series defeat would be sliding to 2 and 3 with a loss like this. Had to say, it started the split. Not sure if I would have ranked Rare above OMG, at least in terms of that preseason. But seriously, RA, one of these teams which has been finding a lot of success, probably beyond what some people would have thought. OMG now have one last gasp to try and find something, but it's narrow onto a Sion. That's going to do functions nothing.
Neither did True Shot Barrage. I think Cube healed from that. Oh, this is ridiculous.
He just does not give a monkeys. He's going in.
They still have Elder 20 seconds of it as well. Look at that knockup. Maki's going to die. They're just looking for the end right here. I mean, RA again just don't care as OMG have been thwarted at every corner in this game. This series a little bit of a long one, but at the end of the day, RA will move up to 4 wins. How do you like them apples with the triple kill over to the jungler? Is he going to get a quadra? Are we going to get a penta on the monkey man? Oh, Sssum sealing it away. That is a bold move, but hey, bold is where RA come into the equation with the 2-1 over OMG.
That game 2 once again gave us an awful lot of questions about this roster, which has actually shown an awful lot of good stuff. It's a 2-1, but the wins for Rare Adam were pretty good, all said and done. Game 1 took a bit of a comeback, some stellar team fighting. Game 3 felt like a much more cohesive performance, better in the early game, once again solid in the team fights here, and the real star of today, outside of the players which we normally talk about in Tube and Leyan from the jungle, top lane, it really was Strive. Strive is starting to solidify himself as one of